I knew something was wrong when my key wouldn't turn in the front door. I'd just finished a 12-hour shift at the hospital. I'm an IQ nurse, and all I wanted was to shower and sleep. It was 11 p.m. on a Thursday, and I'd been on my feet since 7 a.m. My key slid into the lock like always, but when I tried to turn it, nothing happened. The lock had been changed. Before I could process that, the porch light flipped on and the door swung open. My mother stood there, beaming like she'd just won the lottery. "Surprise," she said. "We need to talk, Jennifer." I stared at her. "Mom, what are you doing here? And why doesn't my key work?" Come in, she said, stepping aside. I walked into my own house and stopped dead. The living room furniture had been rearranged. Different curtains hung on the windows. Family photos I'd never seen before sat on the mantel, pictures of my sister Melissa's kids, my parents' anniversary portraits. "What's going on?" I asked slowly. My father appeared from the kitchen, carrying a beer. "Sit down, Jenny, we need to discuss the house." "My house?" I said. "What are you doing here?" "That's what we need to talk about," Mom said, her smile never wavering. "We've decided the house should go to Melissa. She needs it more than you do. She has 3 children and her husband just lost his job. You're single, no kids. You can rent an apartment." The words didn't make sense. I felt like I was having a stroke. "This is my house," I said carefully. "I bought it from you 10 years ago. I've been paying the mortgage for a decade, technically," Dad said, "but let's be honest. You bought it way under market value. We basically gave it to you. And now we're taking it back for someone who needs it more." I looked past them toward the hallway. The door to my bedroom was open. The walls had been repainted. My furniture was gone. Melissa's youngest daughter's toys were scattered across the floor. "You moved Melissa in," I said flatly. "Into my house?" "Without asking me." "We're not asking, we're telling," Mom said. "Family homes stay with family, and right now Melissa is the family member who needs this house. We've already changed the locks. Your things are in the garage. You can pick them up this weekend." I pulled out my phone. "Who are you calling?" Dad demanded. "My Lear," I said. "And the police?" Mom's smile finally faltered. "Jenny, don't be dramatic. This is a family matter. This is breaking and entering," I said. "Illegal eviction, theft, and I'm done talking about it." The first call was to 911. "I need to report an illegal eviction. I'm the homeowner, and someone has changed my locks and moved into my property without permission." The second call was to Marcus Webb, the real estate attorney who'd handled my purchase 10 years ago. "Marcus, it's Jennifer Brennan. I need you at 1847 Cedar Lane immediately. My parents have illegally locked me out of my house and moved my sister in." I hung up and looked at my parents. "You have about 15 minutes before the police arrive. I'd suggest you start explaining what made you think this was legal." Officer Chun arrived first, followed closely by Marcus and his Tesla. It was nearly midnight by then, but Marcus had come straight from his home in a polo shirt and jeans, briefcase in hand. "Ms. Brennan," Officer Chun said, reviewing my driver's license and the address. "You're saying this is your residence?"
"It is," I said. "I've owned it for 10 years.
"I have the deed, mortgage statements, and 10 years of payment records." Marcus opened his briefcase. "I'm Marcus Webb, the attorney who handled Ms. Brennan's property purchase in 2014. The transaction was completely legitimate. She bought the property from her parents for $240,000 and has been making mortgage payments ever since."
He handed Officer Chun a folder.
"Here's the deed, recorded with the county. Here are the mortgage statements from Chase Bank. Here are the property tax bills in Ms. Brennan's name. Here's the homeowner's insurance policy." Officer Chun reviewed everything carefully. Then he looked at my parents. "Do you have documentation showing you own this property?" "We lived here for 32 years, Dad said. "We raised our daughters here. That doesn't give you legal ownership," Officer Chun interrupted. "Do you have a deed? A mortgage? Tax bills in your name?" "The sale wasn't legitimate," Mom said quickly. "We sold it too cheap. Jennifer took advantage of us. The sale price was $240,000 in 2014, Marcus said. Fair market value at the time was approximately $275,000. A family discount of $35,000 is completely reasonable and well within legal parameters. Both parties were represented by counsel. All documents were properly executed and recorded. He pulled out more papers. I have the signed purchase agreement, the title search, the closing statement. Your parents' attorney's certification that they understood all terms. You cannot now claim the sale was invalid simply because you regret it. Officer Chun's expression had hardened. Ma'am, sir, you've committed illegal eviction and trespassing. Miss Brennan, do you want to press charges? Yes, I said. Jenny, please, Mom said, starting to cry. We're your parents. We're just trying to help Melissa by stealing my house, I said. Where's Melissa? Upstairs with the kids, Dad muttered. They're asleep. Wake her up, Officer Chun said. Everyone who's not the legal owner needs to leave this property immediately, or I'll arrest all of you for trespassing. Marcus pulled out another document. I'm also serving you with a cease and desist notice. Any further attempts to enter, claim, or control this property will result in criminal prosecution and a civil lawsuit for damages. My father took the letter with shaking hands. Melissa appeared at the top of the stairs, holding her sleeping toddler. What's going on? Your parents tried to steal Jenny's house, Officer Chun said flatly. You need to gather your belongings and leave. This is insane, Melissa said. Jenny, they told me you agreed to let me stay here while I got back on my feet. They lied, I said. This is my house. I never agreed to anything, but I have nowhere else to go. That's not my problem, I said. You moved into my house without my permission. Get out. It took 2 hours to get them out. Melissa cried the entire time, gathering toys and clothes while her kids woke up and started crying too. My parents kept trying to argue, to negotiate, to guilt me into being reasonable. Marcus shut them down every time. The law is clear. This is Ms. Brennan's property. You're trespassing. Leave now or be arrested. They finally left at 2 a.m. My mother's last words were, You're destroying this family over a house. You destroyed it when you tried to steal from me, I replied. After they were gone, Officer Chun gave me an incident report number. Document everything that's been damaged or moved. File it with your insurance. And get your locks changed again. Use a different locksmith than whoever they used. Marcus stayed after Officer Chun left. We walked through the house together, documenting everything. My bedroom furniture was in the garage, along with my clothes and garbage bags. They'd repainted 3 rooms. Melissa had already moved furniture into what used to be my home office. This is going to be expensive to fix, Marcus said. I'm estimating at least $15,000 in damages painting. Replacing damaged items, storage fees for your furniture. Will they have to pay it? Oh yes, he said. We're suing. Civil court. Illegal eviction, trespass, property damage, emotional distress. I'm estimating total damages around $75,000. I sat down on my couch, the one piece of furniture they hadn't moved. Can they afford that? They'll have to find a way, Marcus said. Sell assets, take out loans, not your problem. They committed crimes and civil violations. There are consequences. The lawsuit took 8 months. My parents hired a lawyer who tried to argue that the original sale had been under duress and that they'd been financially coerced into selling. Marcus destroyed that argument in about 15 minutes. Your clients lived in Florida for 5 years after the sale, he told their lawyer during a deposition. They only returned to Pennsylvania 6 months ago. They made no attempt to contest the sale during the statutory period. They have no grounds. The evidence was overwhelming. Marcus had everything. The purchase agreement showing both parties had independent legal counsel. The appraisal showing the sale price was fair. The closing statement signed by everyone. 10 years of mortgage payments I'd made without ever missing one. Plus, Marcus had something I didn't even know about. Emails. I subpoenaed your parents' email accounts, he told me. I found this. She showed me an email chain between my mother and Melissa, dated 3 months before they'd changed my locks. From Carol Brennan to Melissa Brennan subject. The house I talked to your father, and we've decided Jennifer should give you the house. She's single, no kids, she can find an apartment easily. You need the space more. We're going to handle it next month when she's working nights. Just pack up and move in. Once you're there, she won't make a scene. From Melissa Brennan to Carol Brennan subject. The house, are you sure? Won't Jenny be mad? From Carol Brennan to Melissa Brennan subject. The house she get over it. She always does. She's the responsible one. She understands family obligations. I read the emails 3 times, feeling sick. They planned this, I said. For months, they did, Marcus said. Premeditated illegal eviction. Makes our case even stronger. The judge ruled in my favor on every count. Illegal eviction, $25,000 in damages. Trespass, $10,000 in damages. Property damage, $18,742 in documented repairs. Emotional distress, $30,000. Legal fees, $42,500. Total, $126,242. My parents were also ordered to pay $500 per day for every day they delayed payment beyond 30 days. They tried to appeal. The appeals court rejected it in less than a week. They couldn't pay. Didn't have the money, didn't have assets worth that much. Their retirement savings had been depleted helping Melissa, and they were living on Social Security. Marcus filed for wage garnishment and asset seizure. The court ordered their bank accounts frozen and began garnishing their Social Security payments, the maximum allowed by law, which was 15%. At this rate, it'll take them approximately 19 years to pay off the judgment, Marcus told me. Assuming no additional interest or penalties. 19 years, I repeated. Yes, they'll be paying you until they're in their 90s. If they live that long, I sat with that information. Tried to feel guilty. Waited for the voice in my head that would say I was being too harsh. It never came. 6 months after the judgment, Melissa sent me an email. Jenny, I need you to know that I didn't want any of this. Mom and Dad told me you'd agreed. I had no idea they were lying until the police showed up, but now they're struggling. They can barely afford food after the garnishment. They're going to lose their apartment. Can't you forgive them? Can't you drop the judgment? They're our parents. Please, Melissa, I wrote back. 1 line. They committed fraud, planned it for months, and tried to steal my house. The judgment stands. She didn't respond. A year after the judgment, my father had a heart attack. My brother, who I hadn't spoken to in 8 months, called me. Dad's in the hospital.
He's asking for you. No, I said.
Jenny, he might die. Then he'll die knowing he tried to steal my house and face the legal consequences, I said. I'm not coming. My father survived. I never visited. 2 years after the judgment, I got a call from an estate attorney I'd never met. Miss Brennan, I'm calling about your mother's estate. She passed away last week, stroke. I was silent for a moment. Then, I see, she left a will. She's leaving you a letter, but nothing else. Everything goes to Melissa and your brother. That's fine, I said. Do you want the letter? No, I said. Destroy it. Destroy it. The attorney paused. Are you sure? It might bring closure. I have closure, I said. She tried to steal my house. I took her to court. She spent 2 years paying me back. That's all the closure I need. I never read the letter. 5 years after the judgment, I was having coffee with a colleague when she asked me something no one had asked in years. Do you ever regret it, taking your parents to court?
No, I said immediately. Why would I? I don't know.
They were your parents. And the judgment was so harsh. The judgment was appropriate for the crime, I said. They committed premeditated fraud. They broke into my house, changed my locks, moved my sister in, and tried to claim it was theirs. That's not a family disagreement. That's a felony, but they're paying for it for the rest of their lives. Good, I said. Maybe it'll teach them that actions have consequences. That you can't just steal from people, even your own children, and expect to get away with it. She nodded slowly. I think I get it. I sipped my coffee and looked out at the street, at the life I'd built, at the house I'd fought for and kept. No guilt, no doubt, no wondering if I'd been too harsh. Just peace. 10 years after the judgment, my father died. My brother called to tell me. The funeral is Saturday. You should come. No, I said.
He was your father. He was someone who tried to steal my house, I corrected.
I don't owe him a funeral appearance. I didn't go, didn't send flowers, didn't acknowledge it. My brother sent me an angry email afterward about how I abandoned the family and chosen money over love, I deleted it without responding. 15 years after the judgment, I sold my house. Not because I had to, because I wanted to. I'd met someone wonderful and we were buying a place together. The house sold for $475,000. I'd paid $240,000 for it 15 years earlier. After the mortgage payoff and selling costs, I walked away with $218,000 in profit. I used part of it as a down payment on a beautiful home with my partner, put the rest in retirement savings. The garnishment from my father's estate had finally stopped when he died. They paid about $43,000 of the original judgment over 10 years. I wrote off the rest. Not because I forgave them, but because pursuing a dead man's estate wasn't worth my energy. 20 years after the judgment, I was cleaning out old files when I found the incident report from that first night. Officer Chang's notes. Marcus's initial case file. The emails between my mother and Melissa planning the theft. I looked at them for a long time, then I shredded everything. I didn't need reminders of who my parents were. I knew. And I'd built a life completely separate from them. A life based on respect, boundaries, and the knowledge that I could stand up for myself and win. My partner found me in the office. "You okay?" "Yeah," I said. Just throwing away the past. We had dinner on our deck that night, watching the sunset, talking about our plans for retirement. We were thinking about traveling, maybe Europe, maybe Asia. "What about your family?" she asked. "Do you think you'll ever reconcile with your brother?" "No," I said. He sided with them when they tried to steal my house. He called me greedy for taking them to court. "He's not part of my life." "Good," she said. And it was good. The best decision I'd ever made, choosing myself, my property, my peace over people who saw me as something to be used. Now, 25 years after that night when I found my locks changed, I'm 58 years old. My parents are dead. My siblings and I haven't spoken in decades. And I'm completely at peace with that. Because I learned something important that Thursday night when my key wouldn't turn in my own front door. You teach people how to treat you. If you accept theft and manipulation, they'll keep doing it. If you hold them accountable even when it's hard, even when it's family, you teach them that you have boundaries and you'll enforce them. My family chose to cross those boundaries. I chose to let the court decide the consequences. And I've never regretted it. Not once, not even for a moment.